Hello chess friends and welcome to Azarov's chess channel. Welcome to my advanced chess theory. Today our theme will be the King's Indian from the perspective of black. Uh, let's see how the King's Indian goes with d4, knight f6, knight f3, g6, c4, bishop to g7, knight to c3, castling, e4, and now d6. So in this variation, white cannot play this e5 move because after taking and something like taking with the pawn, then queen takes, knight takes, and knight to g4, bishop to f4, and with this move, knight to c6, black would take this pawn and would have a completely winning game. So let's go to this position. After d6, white plays bishop to e2, and now the main theme in the King's Indian is the move e5. So what to say about the King's Indian? First of all, you should know that the King's Indian is a really sharp opening. So I remember Gary Kasparov once said, if you don't like sharp openings, then don't play the King's Indian, because it's really sharp, and you will see in this introduction in a particular game that I want to show you. It's really a game that shows the whole potential of the King's Indian. And the other thing that I want to say about the King's Indian, that it leads often to opposite side attack game. So that means black or white would attack or the king side or the queen side, and the opponent will attack the other side. So that's our theme today, race situations in chess. And that means that when you have a race situation in chess, you have to play in very fast on your attack, and somehow try to block your opponent's attack. So what many players don't like about the King's Indian, but it's really necessary. To win a game, you have to find a tactical shot. It will have, if it's the King's Indian is not well, it can transpose sometimes into a positional game, but if you want to win a game, you have to find a tactical shot. And it's very often you have to sacrifice a knight or a bishop or even a queen in some variations to win a game. So I remember a couple of my friends that are playing said, I don't like the King's Indian, then I have to find these difficult moves. But in this game that I want to show you, you see that there are there are many tactical motifs, and in the King's Indian, and you can remember them. They're always they're very often they happen very often in the games. So uh, well, the other thing you should know about the King's Indian is that sometimes in some variations white will stay with the king in the center. So he will attack you. He will attack you on the king side and on the queen side, because after a move like d5, in some variations he can stay with the king in the center. So because he has this advanced pawn on d5, and he has sort of a space advantage. And that's in our next videos I'm gonna show you some variations where the king stays in the center. So today we're gonna start in this introduction. I will show you the orthodox variation of the King's Indian, and after casting, now knight to c6 and now d5. So this knight to c6 was sort of a it was sort of a provocational move. It really challenges white in the center, and after d5, uh, uh, black plays knight to e7. So this is our starting setup. This is what you're trying to do in the King's Indian, and try knight to d7 and f5. Why is that so? Let's see the pawn structure in the center. Again, you see, this is a so-called this is a so-called block center, and that our pawns are showing us where to attack. So you see, it's of course our attack will be on the king side because our pawns are pointing on the king side. So you will try to play something like f5, and white is trying to play something like c5 to break this central position. So every time when you have this block center, you just watch where your pawns are aiming and play on that side. So let's see. So in this position, of course, we're gonna attack. We're gonna attack on the king side as black, and white is preparing moves as c5, b4, and maybe a4. So um, well, how to approach in this game? So when you have this race situations in chess, so when you attack on one side and the opponent attacks on the other side, uh, you should block one side. So play, try to get a blockade on your weak side and get it as fast an attack as you can on your side where your pieces are. So many players say they don't like to play the King's Indian because white has this initiative on the queen side, because you see you don't have any pieces here around, so you don't have protectors on the queen side. Every piece is on the king side, and this bishop is also aiming on the king side. So that's why you really just have you really only the only thing you have here is this king side attack. So you should not play in any variations an attack on the queen side. So that's that are these so-called race situations in chess. You in race situations you should always get a tempo. When you lose a tempo, uh, if you lose a tempo in race situation games, you will probably lose the game. So you see why in this game I wanted to show, it was played between Roman Milutin and David Petrosian. You will see it's in this game it seemed that white made a good move, but he didn't play on this tempo. He lost the tempo in he didn't attack on his side, so he lost the game very effectively. So this is the main principle in race situation games. So you should only block your side where you're weak, and try to get a fast attack on your side where you where your pieces and pawns are aiming. So in the game was played uh, knight to e1. Of course, white wants to play knight to d3 and then c5, and with moves like f3 blocking out the king side. So now black plays knight to d7. This is a common setup in the King's Indian, preparing f5. So that's, and of course with this protection of c5. So this is standard standard King's Indian play, and many games are played in these variations. But you will see in my next videos that if white plays something as bishop to d2 or bishop to e3, it's a whole different game. So every move has its own history, um, because games are very different, where white plays his pieces. So this is common setup for black, preparing f5, and then came knight to d3, preparing this move c5. But of course b4 must be played before. So after f5, f3, and now f4 again expands on the king side, and now comes this move b4. So you see, in this so far white and black played very accurate. So they play in this principle of opposite side attacks. They attack on his side, and you see in one particular moment white will leave his attack, and that's why he will lose the game. So this game between Milutin Roman and Petrosian David, it's really a game that shows the potential of the King's Indian, because I will show you the common sacrifices that are possible in the King's Indian. So after g5, again a forward move. You see black gets in every move a tempo forward, and of course preparing this very good square for the knight, this g6 square. So, and you see that's what many players don't like to play as black the King's Indian, but because you see white is already on the attack on this well, d6 pawn. But that's very good play here by black. He doesn't react, he doesn't want to move even c6, b6 or a6. He doesn't want to weak any he doesn't want to weak his queen side, and he just let white plays on attack, and he just plays on his side. So after b5, very good move by white. Now again an attacking move by black, h5, and now after a4 now comes this very good square for the knight, g6, and now bishop to a3. You see white is really on the attack on this d6, and some preparations are rook to c1, and making some pressure on the c7, and well, there are even pawn sacrifices possible for white after just to get to liberate this diagonal on the king. So well, multiple choices are here, but this is one line also very often played with this bishop to a3, just attacking this d6. Well, this is the weakness of black, this d6. So black just continued to attack. You see in every move white and black have attacked each other. They didn't stop their attack, and now very good move also by white, a5. So the preparation is to play b6. This will really open black on the dark squares, and black didn't react. He just played this move g3. You see, it's a little bit annoying for the white's king, and he doesn't want to react by taking. Of course, this would be after taking, then black would be taking and would leave this very weak squares around the king. So he just left it like that, and played this move rook to e1. And you see, and that's the move I told you. In every move they played attacking moves, forward moves, and this was sort of a, I don't know, okay, you can say it's not a bad move, but you see, this is the potential of the King's Indian, because this was really a bad move. This is almost a losing move. So here we come to this common tactical shots that I've told you. You have to find tactical shots if you want to play the King's Indian. And the funny thing about this tactical shot is that when I analyze this game, My computer didn't even when this tactical shot by black came, my computer said that it's a bad move by black, and after a couple moves it was losing for white. So even the computer didn't calculate it well. So here comes the tactical shot. Knight takes on d5. So this is the common tactical shot in the King's Indian. This uh, yeah, well, you have to move somehow this knight to get your queen to h4 and try to mate white. And after taking, well, queen to b3 is not possible, because now comes queen to h4, and after taking, here comes well, white tries to block the position, but now after taking, takes, and well, mate is coming. So here, after a couple moves, another queen, and this would be a losing game for white. So after in this game, white took on d5 with the knight, and then again came this queen to h4. Again this blocking, but it's already a losing game for white. Again this motif, so you should remember this motif, this sacrifice, knight to d5, or even knight to e4. Some variations are possible. So, and then another sacrifice of this bishop on h3. Now white tried queen to b3, but again this sacrifice, and well, it's already a losing game, because after taking with the knight, queen would come here, now here, and this would be mate. So you should remember this sacrifice, of this liberation of the queen. This is common sacrifice, just to get the queen out, and with the threat of the mate. So this is the main theme when you play the King's Indian, sort of orthodox variations, where white castles on king side, and when you play opposite side attacks. So this will be guided by this tactical motif. Many games are played. Of course, they don't always end in such fashion, but this is something you should remember when you play the King's Indian. This is what you trying to do. So I said it before. You see, after this move, rook to e1, white didn't apply this principle of attacking play. He played one move that wasn't an attack, and that's why he lost the game. In my future videos, I will show you the whole concept from A to Z of the King's Indian, and I hope you enjoy it. See you next time.